Imagine this. You are standing in the middle of an infinite landscape of ice. The wind blows at 40 degrees below zero. Every breath burns your lungs. Your fingers lose sensitivity in seconds. The cold is not just a nuisance. It is an enemy that is killing you cell by cell. Now imagine living like this. Not for an hour. Not for a day. For thousands of years. And here comes the fascinating part. While you and I would not survive even one night without technology, there were animals that thrived in that frozen hell. Hunted, reproduced, raised their children. How is it possible? If this mystery intrigues you as much as it does me, subscribe right now, because what you are about to discover will change the way you see nature. This channel explores the most amazing secrets of life on Earth. And believe me, this story is one you will not forget, because the answer is not luck. It is biological engineering perfected over millions of years. 20,000 years ago, much of the planet was a white desert. The Ice Age had turned Europe, Asia, and North America into endless tundras, where the sun barely warmed and the snow never completely disappeared. For us, with our bare skin and our moderate metabolism, that world would be a death sentence. But for a woolly mammoth, a steppe bison, or an Arctic fox, it was simply home. The question is, what did they have that we do not have? Let us start with the obvious, the fur, but not just any fur. Imagine a two-layer coat designed by the best engineer in the universe. The outer layer, long and coarse, repelled wind and snow like a shield. Underneath, a dense underlayer, soft as cotton, trapped warm air against the skin. That air acted as a thermal mattress. Nothing entered, nothing left. Mammoths had hairs nearly a meter long. A woolly rhino looked like a walking hairy mountain. It was not aesthetics. It was pure survival. But the fur was just the beginning. Underneath that hair armor, there was another fat layer. Thick layers of fat that wrapped the entire body like a wetsuit. Fat did not just insulate from the cold, it was also fuel. When food was scarce, the body burned that reserve to produce internal heat. It was a portable and autonomous heating system. Bears accumulated so much fat before winter that their weight doubled. It was not fatness, it was strategy. And then there was the size. Large animals have a brutal physical advantage in extreme climates. Less surface area in proportion to their volume. Think of it this way. A mouse loses heat very quickly because it has a lot of skin in relation to its mass. A mammoth with its 6 tons loses heat much slower. Evolution knew it. That is why giants dominated the north. That is why small animals needed other tricks. Did you notice anything else in those animals? Their ears, their tails, much smaller than those of their southern relatives. Why? Because every centimeter of exposed appendage is an escape route for heat. The ears of an African elephant are huge. They dissipate heat. Those of a mammoth were tiny. They conserved heat. Same principle. Opposite directions. Nature does not improvise. Now, the fur and the fat were the armor. But inside, in the biological engine, something even more extraordinary was happening. The metabolism. That word sounds technical, but it is simple. It is the process by which your body converts food into energy and into heat. When you are cold, your body shivers. Right. Those tremors are muscles contracting rapidly to generate heat. Ice Age animals had something better. Brown fat. A specialized tissue that burned energy just to produce heat without the need to shiver. It was like having an integrated heater that turned on automatically when the temperature dropped. Newborns of many species had tons of brown fat. Without it, they would die in minutes. And then there was the paw trick. Imagine you are a reindeer walking on snow at 20 below zero. Your paws are in constant contact with the ice. They should freeze. Right. But they do not. Why? By a system called countercurrent heat exchange. It works like this. The warm blood going down to the paws passes right next to the cold blood coming back up to the body. The heat is transferred between both before reaching the extremities. Result: the paws stay cool enough not to lose heat to the ice, but not so cold as to freeze. It is a perfect thermal recycling system, but all these physical adaptations were useless without one thing: intelligence. Because when the wind howled like an invisible predator and the temperature plummeted, When food disappeared under meters of snow and visibility was reduced to zero, it was not enough to have thick fur. One had to think. One had to act, and this is where the story gets tense. Imagine a white storm. The sky and the earth merge into a single gray wall. The wind does not just blow. It hits. It pushes. It tears the breath from your lungs. A lonely mammoth stops. Its breath forms clouds of vapor that the wind takes away instantly. It cannot see. It cannot smell. The cold penetrates even its air armor. For the first time, the perfect biological machine faces its limit. What does it do? It moves, not at random. It looks for depressions in the terrain, a hill that blocks the wind, a group of trees that offers some cover, even an accumulation of snow where it can lie down and let the snow cover it partially, creating a thermal shelter. The snow. Against all logic, insulated. Wolves dug dens in snowdrifts. Small mammals buried themselves completely. The cold outside was deadly. Under half a meter of snow, the temperature rose 10 degrees. That was the difference between living and dying. And then there was the group, because the animals were not stupid. They knew that together they survived. Bison formed tight circles during storms, with the calves in the center. The adults on the periphery took turns rotating positions so that no one was left exposed for too long. Wolves slept piled one on top of the other, sharing body heat. It was not altruism. It was thermal mathematics. 3 bodies together lose less heat than 3 bodies separated. But some animals had an even more radical plan: leaving. Migration. When winter began to close its icy fist, entire herds, reindeer, wild horses, and bison moved hundreds of kilometers to the south, looking for more protected valleys, areas where there was still accessible grass. They did not wait for it to be unbearable. They left before. That timing was marked by their instinct, their reading of the climate. Those who stayed too long died trapped in dead-end winters, and some simply turned off the switch. Hibernation. Bears do not hibernate in the strict sense. It is not a deep and motionless sleep. It is a state called torpor. Their temperature drops a little. Their heart slows down. Their metabolism falls to a minimum. But they can wake up if there is danger. For months, they do not eat. They do not drink. They do not urinate. They survive burning the accumulated fat. A female bear can enter her den with 300 kilograms and come out in spring with 150, with 2 newborn cubs stuck to her chest. It is brutal. It is beautiful. Small mammals like marmots do hibernate for real. Their body cools down until almost freezing. Their heart beats 5 times per minute. They look dead, but they are not. They are waiting, betting everything that spring will arrive before their reserves run out. Now, let us look at the protagonists, those who really dominated that world. The woolly mammoth. 6 tons of muscle, fat, and hair. Its trunk had a specialized organ to heat the air before it reached the lungs. Its curved tusks cleared snow to reach the dry vegetation underneath. At night, they moved in family groups led by elderly females who remembered where the best shelters were. They were not just large animals, they were living libraries of survival. The Arctic fox, small, fast, invisible. Its fur changed color, brown in summer, pure white in winter. Its padded paws distributed its weight on the snow like natural snowshoes. It could smell a lemming under half a meter of snow, jump, break the icy crust, and hunt it without seeing it. Its metabolism worked at such speed that it needed to eat constantly, but every calorie was converted into immediate heat. Cave bear, giant, solitary or strategist, spent 8 months a year in deep caves where the temperature remained stable. It entered with enough fat to feed 2 bodies. It came out thin, hungry, but alive. It did not compete with anyone during the winter. It simply disappeared, the tireless reindeer. It migrated thousands of kilometers each year. Its hooves adapted. In summer soft for walking on tundra. In winter, hard and sharp for breaking ice. It ate lichens, mosses, anything the wind left exposed. And its vision evolved to see ultraviolet light, which allowed it to detect lichens under the snow that other animals did not see. It was cutting-edge biological technology. The steppe bison, larger than modern bison, its neck and shoulders were mountains of muscle covered in dense hair. It used its head as a snowplow, sweeping snow with lateral movements to reach dry grass. In herds of hundreds, they created paths that other animals used. They were the engineers of the frozen landscape and the birds. Yes, birds. Ptarmigans that changed their plumage to white and developed feathers even on their legs. They buried themselves in snow during the coldest nights. Their metabolism was so accelerated that they could maintain 40 degrees of internal temperature. While outside it was 30 below zero, every breath was an effort, but every heartbeat kept them alive. All this was not luck. It was not random. It was the result of millions of years of trial and error. Every animal that survived carried in its body the legacy of thousands of generations that did not make it. Every hair, every gram of fat, every behavior was a proven solution. The Ice Age was not just a challenge, it was a filter. The weak disappeared, the slow died. Those who did not adapt went extinct. But those who made it became masters of an art that we, with all our technology, are just beginning to understand.